You ever watch someone shatter your heart and then ask you to stay for dinner? That was Liam, devastatingly beautiful, emotionally unavailable, and the best damn mistake I ever made. The rain hit like karma, sharp, cold, and deserved. I didn't even bother zipping my hoodie. What was the point? I had just walked away from a year of kisses that tasted like lies and silences that screamed louder than fists. He never liked Maury. The cat's an asshole, Liam used to say, every time Maury scratched his records or slept on his face. But Maury always knew. He'd crawl into my lap on the nights Liam forgot to say goodnight. I remember the first time I met Liam. It was a 4th of July rooftop party in Brooklyn. Fireworks overhead, drunk strangers dancing barefoot on tar paper. And there he was leaning against the ledge, beer in hand, smiling at the sky like he owned it. I offered him a sparkler. He took my number instead. We moved fast. Too fast. 1 week we were kissing between takeout boxes and unpacked furniture. A month later, I was brushing my teeth with his electric toothbrush like we'd been married for decades. But love that burns too hot always leaves blisters. The fights started with stupid things. How I left my shoes by the door. How he hated Maury but never said it out loud until he was already seething. He'd slam cabinets like they owed him money, and I'd respond by going silent for days. Still, we tried. God, we tried. There were mornings he made me coffee without being asked, with exactly the right amount of oat milk. There were nights I woke up sweating from a nightmare, and he just pulled me into his chest without a word. I thought those moments were enough. They weren't. It all came crashing down 2 days ago. I found a text on his phone from someone named Eric. It wasn't explicit, not really, but it was enough. Enough to know I wasn't the only one his silence haunted. Enough to feel like I had overstayed my welcome in a heart that was never fully mine. He didn't deny it. That's the part that hurt the most. It's not what you think, he said, voice trembling. But maybe it should be. What the hell does that even mean? So I packed. Or rather, I unpacked myself from him. Took only the things that were mine before Liam made me forget I had a life before him. My umbrella. Maury. A sweater that still smelled like him because I was weak. I walked out without slamming the door. That was my final gift. No theatrics. Just rain. But here's the thing they don't tell you about walking away: it's not always a straight line. Some exits curve. Mine took me past our favorite coffee shop. Past the bookstore where we'd kiss behind poetry aisles. Past everything that used to mean something until it didn't. I crashed at my friend Ava's for 2 nights. She offered tequila and rage, but I declined both. I didn't want to hate him. I just didn't want to hurt anymore. And yet, hurt clings like damp clothes. Maury knew. He curled into me tighter than ever, purring like he could purr the pain out of me. On the 3rd night, Liam called. I didn't answer. Then he texted, "Come back. Or at least let me explain." No. Then, "I miss you." Still no. But when he sent, "I bought cat food," I broke. I returned the next day, not to forgive, just to hear. It was still raining. The door opened before I knocked. He looked like hell. Hair a mess. Eyes red. He was wearing my hoodie. "You look like you haven't slept," I said. "I haven't," he replied. "Come in." "No." We stood in silence. Maury peeked from my arms and meowed like he was bored of the drama. "I didn't sleep with him," Liam finally said. "Eric." We talked. It was stupid, it was wrong. But it was never physical. Why? Because I was scared. You made me feel too much. And I didn't know what to do with it. "So you almost cheated?" He winced. "I thought if I ruined it, I wouldn't have to feel it. I should have slapped him. Or walked away. But instead, I just looked at him, the man who broke me because he didn't know how to be loved." "I don't forgive you," I said. "But I believe you." His shoulders dropped like the weight of guilt had finally settled into a shape he could carry. "I want to be better," he whispered. "Then start by being alone." I turned and walked again. But this time it didn't hurt as much. Not because I didn't love him, but because I loved myself a little more. Weeks passed. He didn't chase me. Not physically. But he sent letters, real ones. Handwritten, messy, raw. One every day. Stories of memories I forgot. Apologies dressed as poems. A photo of Maury asleep on his hoodie. I read every single one. The final letter said, "There's a key taped under the third step. If you ever want to come home." I didn't run back. But one day, after a long shift and an even longer walk, I found myself standing on those steps. It wasn't raining. It was quiet. I reached under the third step. The key was there. Inside, the apartment looked the same. A little cleaner. A little sadder. Maury jumped from my arms and ran to his old scratching post like no time had passed. Then I saw Liam curled on the couch, eyes closed, breathing slow. He didn't hear me come in. I sat beside him. Just sat. He opened his eyes slowly. When he saw me, he didn't speak. Just reached for my hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. This time, I didn't pull away. We didn't fix everything that night. But we shared the silence again. Not the screaming kind. The kind that wrapped around us like a second chance. Sometimes love isn't about never breaking. It's about choosing each other after the cracks. And as the rain began to fall again outside, I leaned into him. Home, after all, isn't a place. It's a decision. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.